pledged in this building on the night that that legislation was passed, that if it was passed, I would live within that system. I pledged as I went to my representatives and my state senator, and I said it was time to make sure that special interest took a backseat to the interests of the people of the state of Connecticut. That's why throughout the period of time I was traveling and discussing with people the future of the state of Connecticut, I always reminded them that I was committed to public finance. And I believed in my heart of heart that no Democrat would fail to support a system that they had said they would support. I have to tell you, during those 14 months, there were times that I wasn't sure we'd get to this point. There were moments when the money just didn't seem to come in as rapidly because people were concentrating on other issues, including losing their own jobs. But something happened just right across at that street at 20 Trinity. When we made an announcement on March 10th, we decided that we would go from an exploratory to a campaign committee, and unbelievably, people began to respond. Money became pouring in, $10, $5, $20, a maximum of $100. We have done something. We have done something that no statewide candidate has ever done before. We have done something together that no candidate running for governor has done before. We have done something for the people of the state of Connecticut to prove to them that this system is working, needs to be preserved, needs to be honored by Democrats. So today I announce that we have raised all $250,000. Change of heart, I mean, we're planning for a primary and a general election in which people will choose to use their personal fortune in an effort to secure the office.
8.5 though requires you obviously to win the primary.
Yep.
So your budget for the primary will be presumably 2 times 1.25. You spent about 5, right?
No. We spent about 4, but we spent that over about a 2.5-year period of time. This is more money in a 10-week period, I think, than we had the last time.
When do you collect?
The reason that this is so important today is we will file all of our paperwork with all of the documentation necessary. We've actually filed a lot of it, but we intend to have everything filed so that the elections enforcement folks can approve it, and we presume we'll be getting our first check at least on the Monday after the convention, presuming I get 15% at the convention.
You have some ground to make up in name recognition, according to some of the public polling.
Sure.
How soon do you start going on TV? How soon do you start using that?
You know, that's a little bit of a process question, but let me take part of it on. I'll take part of it on. I mean, you have to understand that the Citizens Election Program is designed not to have people on TV before the convention. So when you ask that question, it's like, well, Dan, you know, why are you living by the rules? I'm living by the rules because they're the right rules. The idea that special interest money would be taken out of politics was very important 4 years ago. My probable primary opponent supported that program all the time, right up till he decided to run for governor. So we'll be on TV when we make the judgment that our dollars to be spent will most effectively be spent. But we'll be out.
He's announcing tomorrow that, as you know, that Mary Glassman will be his running mate, who was your choice 4 years ago. What do you think of that?
I think it's a demonstration of my great leadership. But it also is, it's a curious situation. You know, Mary has spent the last 5 months going around the state saying that politics shouldn't be about millionaires, and that she supported the campaign finance system. So either she's had a change of heart or Ned's had a change of heart. That's probably the subject of the press conference.
You don't think that it's some delegates have raised concern that you're strong-arming them and that Mary could have gone with either you or Ned, and that it was the strong-arming of the delegates that had upset some people and had upset her, and that she chose Ned over you.
I have not heard that, so that's a new one for me, and I don't think listen. I don't know how to respond to that. That's I haven't heard that. It's a curious statement, and these are. I don't know how many debates have we had, how many forums have we had. By the way, I went to all of them, that's what campaigning is getting out and meeting people.
This is a juncture where I think process is part of it and sort of the inside game. So let's go over some of that stuff. Does she move delegates, and to what extent?
I think that's a question you should ask, for Mary. We have a convention, and we'll certainly have a final answer on that within 3 weeks. I'm doing everything I can to make sure I win the convention. Ned's doing everything he can to make sure he wins the convention, and perhaps this was one of those steps.